What's up guys, TheDevildogGamer here, and today I have an awesome mod combination. Two of my favorite game series, Stalker and Fallout, basically merged into the same thing. This is the Lost Worlds mod pack, and it basically kind of turns Fallout 4 into a Stalker-like experience. While it's not an exact copy of Stalker, it makes a lot of the things that were in Stalker awesome in Fallout 4. This is a brutal mod pack. If you get hit once, shot once, you are dead. There is no VATS, you can't see enemies with perception, and everything is very dark. The lighting is crazy. The lights can blind you, or you can go into subways and everything is super dark and you have to walk around with your flashlight, or it can be super foggy and you're walking around the woods hearing things, looking around, not seeing anything pop up on your radar, and you have to kind of look around and use your ears, use your eyes, and kind of point around your flashlight to find things. It also adds emissions and deadly radiation. This has its own gas mask mod that you need to actually replace filters. You can wipe your lens. The emissions are super dangerous. You absolutely need to have like a chem suit to switch into real quick, or you will die in 30 seconds or less when emissions happen. It takes the dangerous part of the radiation from the Stalker universe and brings it into Fallout, which is a radioactive wasteland. So you're gonna constantly need to work on getting your gas mask filters, making sure your stuff's up. If your gas mask actually takes damage and cracks, radiation will seep through it. So you have like to take care of your gear to survive the radioactive wasteland. It also adds tons of new enemies. There is just tons of different things, models replaced, tons of radioactive kind of mutants running around. There's also small animals like radioactive turkeys, raccoons, foxes that you actually need to hunt. You actually need to kind of eat and drink a lot in the survival mode of this. So you actually got to hunt animals, and when you find the animals, you actually have to butcher and process them, which has its own leveling system. The lower the level you are, the longer it takes for you to butcher these animals, and time actually passes. But you need to kind of grill this into food and go around and do some stuff. And without fast travel, you're constantly having to hunt for your own food, hunt for your own water, keep your stockpiles going for the long journey ahead while fighting with the radiation. On top of that, it also has a camping system. So where you actually carry all your camping equipment with you and you put it down, you set up camp, you can set up your little cooking area, you can sleep there. It has a little GPS beacon so you can find it on your map later if you want to keep your stuff there. Once you're done at the camp and you sleep, you pick all your stuff back up, you take it with you, throw it in your backpack, which now backpacks are actually added in this mod, so that you have your own Stalker backpack that increases how much you can hold, and you go around the wasteland hunting, camping, sleeping, eating, and things like that. There's also a ton of new weapons. I actually thought the weapons were impressive, how many there actually were, everything from M4s to Ketters to pistols. It was just, the list goes on and on. But I ended up adding modern firearms into the mod pack also, which adds hundreds of new guns to kind of make it a little more to where we had choices. I like choices when it comes to guns in games like this, especially with Stalker. You know, I was seeing a lot of the enemies carrying Ketters when I kind of wanted more of them carrying other guns along the way. So we added modern firearms, and there's just a huge plethora of guns. It also has where you actually can lower your weapon. There's a mod where you lower your weapon. So as you're walking, you know, if you're walking slow, you'll lower your weapon, and the flashlight is actually tied to the weapon and not the Pip-Boy. So if you lower your weapon, your light goes down. So you constantly kind of keep bringing it up, keep it ADS to kind of look around, use it as a spotlight, and things like that. There's also tons of new quests, everything from like dungeons to new areas to visit, new trader areas. There's also traveling NPCs. You can make it to where there's NPCs everywhere, and they're constantly moving around, going from one settlement to another, one town to another. And the thing is, without the radar or anything like that, because it has a minimalistic HUD that kind of actually replicates Stalker's HUD, you don't know who these guys are until you get up real close to them. So you can see guys in the distance, you start going up and realizing, oh, they're gunners, and they're just laying into you and you're dead pretty much immediately. So you have to be very careful when you approach areas like, hey, who is this? Are these guys friendly? Are these guys not? And it leads to kind of more like tense situations where you see a group of guys and you're like, is that a traitor? Are those scavengers? Or maybe those are like mercenaries or something like that. And I've been wrong quite a few times, and it leads to some really cool situations. There's also a complete copy, replica of the Stalker Chernobyl map that you can travel to via a vertibird. Now, I did try to go in there to get you guys footage of it, but once you fly over there, you can't leave until you find the way back. And I spent a few hours into it and had to revert a save because it was just crazy. I didn't have enough gear on me, didn't have enough filters, food, and it was pretty much a one-to-one of the Stalker map on top of the whole Fallout Boston area. I mean, that was just a huge map to begin with, and you get another map of the zone that you can go to. It's really cool to see. There's a lot of characters from the Stalker universe in that area also, and that really does feel, the mod itself feels like you're in Stalker, but that really does feel like you're in Stalker. There's also tons of animations for eating, drinking, medical. The stim packs have been replaced with AI2s. You also have splints, you have compresses, and you can get shot and start really bleeding out, and you have to use the compress to stop the bleeding and then heal up. Along with that, the radiation can really get into you, and if you're not using your chem suit, or you're not using your gas mask, you're running low on filters, it creates this crazy medical system that you really have to take care of yourself. Mix that in with the survival, the really hardcore survival stuff, the eating, drinking, and the quick deaths and the no quick saves, it becomes pretty brutal. This mod is one of the best experiences I've ever had with Fallout 4. It is brutal, it's dark, it's beautiful, it's scary. Ghouls being zombies is super awesome. There's just so much into this mod pack. There's over 200 mods in here. I haven't even scratched the surface or even found all the mods or all the quests. I mean, there's so much that is done with this that, you know, even an hour into it, you haven't even touched half the stuff that's in the mod pack. There's so much to do. It's crazy to see, and it's a really beautiful experience, and it makes Fallout just very bleak, dark, and scary. Just going into Diamond City and seeing the different kind of environments that we go into and even when the emissions happen, seeing everyone around you with gas mask on just changes the way the game feels and the way it looks too. Having the lights coming from the stadium just blinding down on you and you know, seeing how it just looks like a nuclear war happened. It's bleak, it's dark, it's scary, man. I really enjoy this mod, and I've already dumped probably about 40 hours into it this week, and I'm not even done. I'm probably going to keep playing it a lot more. We've streamed it 3-4 nights in a row now, and I've just been having an absolute blast with it. Now, it is fully customizable, so if you don't want it as crazy with the radiation, you can make it a little lower. The default it starts out is you constantly need a gas mask. The radiation is everywhere and it's constant, so you're always looking around for your filters and new gas masks and things like that. On top of that, if you don't like dying immediately or getting hit and, you know, being killed instantly, you can tone that down. It is completely customizable. You can change things around a little bit to make it more in tune of what you actually want from this game. But, you know, a lot of the mods are core mods that you really should have. I wouldn't say delete a lot of mods or add a lot of mods. Try the experience yourself for what it is and tweak it from there to what you want it to be. Overall, this is definitely for Stalker fans and Fallout fans together. I mean, it's like playing Stalker Anomaly, but in Fallout. And there's just a lot you can really do with it. You can ignore a lot of the Fallout stuff, like the shelters. You can even build your own underground shelter somewhere else, or just live off the camps and just use the traders to kind of build whatever you want at that point. You can make it whatever you want in there. Not only that, the guys who do these mod packs make a ton of different ones to make it like horror games, super hardcore survival. They have a lot of really cool stuff that they put into it, building these mod packs to kind of make whatever scenario you want. I highly recommend you guys try this. It was such an awesome experience. I'm definitely dumping more hours into it. I would say if you're a fan of Fallout and Stalker, you need to play this. You really, really do. But I hope you guys enjoy a look at the Lost World mod, and let me know what you think in the comments below.